Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good 4th of July weekend. I'm going to go into hiding on Monday. Being British, it's not our best day. So I hope you all have a wonderful 4th of July, you ungrateful colonials. Anyway, before we get started, I'm going to drop the link in a second for MRE. We're going to be discussing Rose West and Fred West. They were two serial killers in England. In fact, they were from Gloucestershire. I got it completely wrong. The reason that I thought they were from Bradford or somewhere like that, but when I listened to Fred, he actually sounds like he's from Cornwall. He's got this Doc Martin accent. Now, I don't know if anyone's watched Doc Martin. In England, we know who he is, and he's like, oh, Doc Martin, he sounds almost like a pirate. But in any event, I'm going to get started. I'm going to drop the link for MRE. The link is for MRE alone. And I want you all to know, after we're done with Fred and Rose West, I'm going to be addressing a couple of things, okay? For sure. So hang around for that. But anyway, let me drop the link for MRE, and this link is for MRE alone. Okay, hold on. Hang on, you're missing. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second, will you? Hang on. Oh, okay. Okay, that was something else, actually. I thought it said I was signed out of StreamYard, but I guess not. Okay, so I'm dropping the link now. Okay, so I've dropped the link for MRE. Now, 1 moment. Let me minimize that. Okay, so I'm waiting for MRE. But anyway, okay, so good to see you all here. DeGosta, I want to talk. Hi, Mark, my darling. I was just listening to Michelle again. I hadn't heard it in like years, and what I put up on my community page, it cut it short, so I put it up again so you hear the whole song. Yeah, I love that song. Okay, and here's MRE. Okay, so I'm going to switch to Avatar. Oh, hang on. Let me get rid of YouTube. Hold on, I'm not sure how to do this. Hold on 1 second.
How you doing, Aegon, Seymour, Mark, everybody in the chat, DeGosta, David?
Okay, did I get rid of YouTube? Can you hear it?
Oh, no, there's no echo or nothing like that.
Oh, okay, all right.
That movie was great. That movie was good,
Oh, you watched it? Yes.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
It was very interesting, even though there was no, like, in my opinion, there wasn't like a sexual relationship, but she did have look, she said to her husband, he's like, why are you doing this? She's like, because I was needed and I was wanted. Like,
yes.
Like maybe it was a purpose for her to, like she's helping this guy or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
But it could have been romantic. I'm not sure. Like,
I was confused about that, but as it went on, I think she developed some type of feeling for this man.
Oh, for sure. She was crying. How you doing, agnostic? Yeah, she was crying.
Yeah, and I can actually relate a little bit to that because I used to work in a county jail, and what happened is this guy, he had killed his wife and kids, and so they had him at the top of the jail in a room by himself, and he tried to kill himself. He threw himself down these concrete stairs. So he was paralyzed from the waist down. And so I was assigned to him. He hadn't gone to court yet. And, I had a catheter. I used to have to get him in the shower, out of the shower. And we did develop a relationship. Even though what he did was horrendous, when you talk to him one-on-one, if you didn't know, you would not imagine that he did what he did. And he
and it's your job to
yeah.
And it's your job to take those feelings away of whatever they did. And yeah, people are only human. They get close to people, like that woman.
So I kind of get it a little bit, but as far as romantic, hell no. God.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, like in the movie, like it like wasn't sure that it was romantic, but maybe she just had like some love for him because she spent all that time with him and stuff like that. Or maybe it was, but she explained to her husband that, like I said, he gave her a purpose. She was, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a little bit of a documentary. Now, this documentary, I'm going to put the, here we go with this phone. I'm going to have to turn this off. This is driving me nuts. Okay. So this documentary is going to explain the beginning of it and what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to put the link to the channel in the description when I'm done. And actually, this guy took this documentary from somewhere else and was praying it stayed up. He offered, I don't think it's monetized or whatever, but I'm going to play a little bit of the beginning, and then I'm going to direct people, if you want to watch the whole thing, go to his channel and watch the whole thing. But this kind of explains what me and MRE are just about to talk about. So I'm going to play that first, and then we'll get talking. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right. Okay, let me mute.
The scene of some of the most horrific. 25 Cromwell Street, Gloucester, home to Fred and Rose West and their 9 children. Outside, an ordinary family home. Inside, the scene of some of the most horrific crimes in British history.
I had both his faces hovering over me. And he said, "We're going to kill you, and we're going to bury you under the paving stones of Gloucester."
A house of utter depravity, which shocked even the toughest investigators.
And it was obvious as a human thigh bone, and female and young.
Officers searching 25 Cromwell Street have today discovered what they believe to be another set of human remains.
You are facing something that you have never, ever seen before, and you really don't want to see it.
This is the true story of Fred and Rose West.
Unmute.
That was just creepy in itself. Looking at that house.
Yes. Yes.
God.
So we'll go through, basically what they did. So Fred and Rose were convicted. Fred was convicted of killing 12 women and Rose 10. And actually, they were thought to have killed at least 20 more people. And that's probably so. One of the victims was Fred West's former girlfriend, and she was pregnant. And she was found in a shallow grave with body parts missing because he cut her legs off and started. This guy was depraved, okay? West denied it, but he did. And basically what they did, they were into what is it called? Sadomasochism.
Yeah, masochism.
Yeah.
They had all the masks in their basement.
Yes.
They found all these weird like gimp masks and stuff like that.
Right. So one of the first victims was let me go to some pictures so I can put them up and show you. One of the first victims was Charmaine West. She was 8 years old.
It's his own daughter, correct?
Yes, yes. It's really sickening. A quick question: when you were watching Appropriate Adult, Dominic West, did he not look just like him?
Yes, he did.
I mean, oh my God! I thought this is so like.
Well, looking at them, it's like who's Fred and who's Rosemary.
Yeah,
like remember Scooby Doo, Velma from Scooby Doo?
Yeah,
he's got a little Velma look, and he's just got like this like cannibalistic inbred like look to him. Wow.
Yeah.
They said she was the driving force behind it, and Fred said that she actually cut out a baby. I don't know if he did it or her, or she was blaming him, because if you remember, what he was sticking up for her until he found out she ignored him in court. When he realized she ignored him in court, and that's when he told.
Right. Exactly. Now, basically, they were sexually abusing their own children as well as picking up women. You know, Rena Costello, she was 27. You know, she was Fred's first wife. They murdered her when they went to pick up the daughter for a visit, would you believe? You know, Fred killed her, God knows why. Linda Guff, she was 20. Carol Ann Cooper, 15. Lucy Partington, 21. You know, there's a whole host, and they would bury them outside in their freaking yard. Now, this is the house on Cromwell Street, this one right here. And then when the police went there, this is the cellar. There were, I believe, 3 bodies found here in the cellar. I mean, my God, the house. Look at
that. That's creepy, right there.
Isn't that? Oh my God.
And it's filthy.
Yeah,
it's creepy. And how many children did they have?
I'm not 100 on that. I think they had like. Hang on, let me Google it right.
And I wonder, like the ones that survive, the children that are living right now. I wonder if they change their names, if they get harassed or bullied.
Yes, apparently so. You know, a lot of them have changed their names. They're not even trying to be associated with these people. You know, because they will be ridiculed.
I don't blame them. If my parents were slaughtering children and babies, I would change my name too. What if it comes to that? Like, oof.
Right. I mean, these murders were done between 67 and 87 in Gloucestershire. You know, I'm really confused with this because if you listen to Fred's accent, he sounds like he's from Cornwall. I don't know what's going on there. It's just really weird. People in Gloucestershire do not talk like him.
You think he maybe moved when he was younger and just kept his accent?
Yeah, but I'm not seeing that anywhere. Because I'm thinking, how in the hell? Anyway, you know, they were into rape, bondage, torture, mutilation, you know, that type of thing. And, you know, he actually, hold on just 1 second, okay? Yeah. I'm going to grab some water right quick.
And it's amazing how long they got away with it for. She looks like a librarian, like a sick librarian, but oh my God, it looks like one of some lady Ellen DeGeneres dated a few years ago. But I don't know how like the kids didn't say nothing. Wow,
yeah, but look at her. Look at her in the younger.
Yes. Well, oh wow. Totally different. Yeah, she looks like a normal looking woman. Fred still looks like Mike Brady on crack.
Yeah, this next picture is a more recent picture of her. Look at the state of her.
Janet Reno. Wow, it's Janet Reno.
Who's Janet Reno?
She was the Attorney General under Bill Clinton. Hi, I'm Janet Reno. Hi. Yeah, I'm Janet.
Look at the state of her now. You know,
oh wow.
Going from, you know, this, yeah, she looks kind of cute. To this.
Yeah,
mean,
and that
this
young
is
picture, I
what
will admit, she does look like a cute young lady, a normal young lady.
we-
Like I said, Fred looks like a wackadoo who just walked out of Studio 64. Well, he looks
This
sick
is-
there.
Look
Wow.
at this. This is the first baby, and they abused this kid,
Jeez.
raped and tortured this kid. It's just freaking believable. Basically, so Fred, he was born in 1941 in Hertfordshire. Again, the accent doesn't fit Hertfordshire, so I'm confused by that. Okay, so he was like from a poor family of farm workers, close knit, bit like the Amish community. It's kind of like that. And his father was the disciplinarian, and his mother was overprotective.
Do you think they were abused when they were younger? They had. Because what's the odds of two couples like? Well, we've seen it before with the Bernardos and stuff, but usually this. I don't know. Maybe there's some abuse when they were younger that doesn't explain.
Well, looking into, it doesn't seem that they were necessarily abused. Fred's father, he was a disciplinarian where the mother coddled him. He was seen like as a mother's boy, and but the kids were expected obviously to do chores, and to earn a living to help the household. So Fred at this time, like, he had a habit of petty theft, and it turned into a lifelong habit. When he was at school, people used to say he was scruffy. I don't know if you know what scruffy means, right?
Like scrubby and
He was dim. He was lethargic, and he was always in trouble. And then he was illiterate. So, but he did have like a thing for woodwork and artwork. So, on leaving school, he was a laborer at a farm because that's what he knew.
So that's the kind of work Fred did?
Right. So what happened is Fred, when he was talking, and we'll get into the appropriate adult in a few, but Fred told her that he was introduced to sex by his mother at 12.
Wow.
And that they engaged in bestiality in his early teens, and that he thought incest was normal. And the reason for this was because the father was having sex with the sisters.
Wow.
But his brother, Doug, said that was pure fantasy, that did not happen. So
he was saying that to try to excuse his
deviance, perhaps.
Yeah, try to put it on someone else.
Yeah.
This is the way I do this.
Yeah, his brother said that is not true. So I don't know.
Oh, see, that's who suffer, the family members with these last names after these people do this.
Right. And so another reason that, Fred was kind of looked at as not, he wasn't mentally ill, but he was slow.
He was a little shockwad. Yeah, a little shockwad. I got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And part of that reason might be because when he was like 17, he was in a motorcycle accident, and he was unconscious for 7 days.
Oh, 7 days. 7 days?
Yes.
Yeah, brain trauma.
Yes. And he was in braces for months, and he was afraid of hospitals. And after he got out, that's when he began fits of rage, stuff like that. So I think he had a brain injury. And then later on, he suffered a further head injury. He groped a girl on a fire escape outside a youth club, and she punched him and sent him, falling to the floor, and he hit his head again.
Too bad he didn't die.
Right. And here's another thing. So, yeah, there was definitely something wrong with his family, because his sister said that Fred had been raping her since months and months and months, and she became pregnant.
Oh my
And
God! So there's really incest going down too.
yeah, and so he was arrested for that, and he said that he admitted it. See, here's the funny thing. When you were watching Appropriate Adult, he was very candid. He was very forthright. Did you know?
Yes.
I was like, what?
And that guy played a great part. He's the guy McNulty
Yeah,
from The
Dominic
Wire.
West. Yeah, Dominic West. I love him.
He's a great actor. He played in 300 and stuff. Yeah, he was and it was and then they said when they first got arrested, the police let him and Rose together for 10 minutes, and he told her, "I'm going to take the blame for everything." Like I said, until he realized she was ignoring him in court.
Right. And so anyway, he was arrested for that. But what happened is, because he was such a mama's boy, she was going to testify on his behalf, going against the daughter that was pregnant.
Wow.
And so basically the case collapsed. He wasn't tried for that. But the mother did banish him from the house. He did reconcile with his parents, but the rest of the family didn't want nothing to do with him.
And there was no one. He never got arrested or in trouble for that, correct?
No. Well, they arrested him, but they had no case because the mother was going to testify that he didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And, they dropped it, basically. But the family never welcomed him back. The mother did, but nobody else, And so that was a thing, Where
did they meet? Does it say where they met?
Who? Him and
Rose.
Yeah, well, he was married prior. And, that ended that was a disaster. And he met Rose at a bus stop, waiting on the bus. And he tried to talk to her. And at first, Rose really came from a normal family almost. She was a good girl, really. She had a job in a coffee shop. And he met her at the bus stop and he followed her. So he started his stalking shit from way on. He followed her to the coffee shop. And what he did was he had a friend of his go in with flowers or something and say, this woman, this guy outside wants to date you, and
real Casanova.
Yeah, it went from there. She at first said that she didn't like him, that there was something about him, but he won her over as psychopathic people do, and that's how they met.
Now, do you think Rose would have killed without meeting him, like what Paula Bernardo and Paul Mulker and Bernardo? Because it's like a little similar in a way. Like he meets her, they start doing this shit, and she becomes just as sadistic or more than him.
Right. Well, here's the thing with Rose. Like when she first met him, she thought that he was like a tramp. How do you say in America? It's not tramp.
Like a straggler?
Yeah, like a homeless guy.
I know what you mean.
We call them tramps. A vagrant.
Yes, I know the English word tramp.
Yeah, she thought that he was we call them tramps. She thought he was a tramp, and but he kept on at her. And she was flattered because he was telling her how beautiful she was, and you bring gifts, and he was always at the bus stop, you know what I mean? And he asked her out a couple of times, and she said no at first, but she did let him walk her home, when they got off the bus. And Rose at that time didn't have a boyfriend, but she was overtly promiscuous. She was screwing anything and everybody.
Yeah, she was prostituting. And do you think he knew? That's what I didn't get the thing. Do you think Fred knew she was prostituting or didn't? Because in the movie, it seemed like he was like shocked and like he started crying and almost walked out of the interview. And when they told him that she was a prostitute, do you think he was playing that or he knew?
No, and that's why I encourage everybody. after we've done with this, go look. I'm going to put the description and the link to the channel. Watch that documentary. There are videos. What he did, he would set up videos in their bedroom. You know, the cameras were on the bed, and you see guys coming in and out. And
so he knew.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was just him acting in the sociopath manipulating thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they made their money.
Sick.
Yeah, this is this is their backyard when the police were out there.
You know what I don't get, Josie, is they bury these people. It seems like there's a lot of apartments and houses around. No one's seen them. Like, these houses are all connected.
No, not really. I mean, they are, and people do see, but generally the consensus in England is mind your own business. You know what I mean?
So maybe they thought they were burying a dog or gardening, or they just...
Yeah, you know, they don't... it's just weird.
They're not a Ficanaz, like an Italian.
Yeah,
like
I mean, they can watch it, and yeah, you got your neighborhood gossips and whatever, but nobody really, because they weren't well respected in the community, but they were respected. You know, they seemed like a decent couple.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Rose worked in a bread shop, not a coffee shop. That was it. And so, you know, they began their relationship. And at the time, Rose was 15. He was like 28.
Oh, so he was preying on the young ones.
Yes. Yeah. But see, in England, at 16, the age of consent, you become an adult at 16, not 18, as it is in America. So you
no. In America, it is the age of consent in some states is 16, but adult is 16 in England. I didn't know that. You're an adult.
Yes, you can basically do what you want at 16.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't know if it's changed, but when I was growing up, 16 was the age, not 18. But what happened is, you know, she was seeing him and she got pregnant, and they tried to, her father tried to get him away from her. They didn't like the age gap, and, you know, he was a freak basically. And, but once she was pregnant, they put her into foster care, and they wanted her to like have an abortion, but she wouldn't. She went home, and after she went home, then she decided to live with Fred, and it kind of went from there. But
so he groomed her probably for years, and maybe her love for him, she did the sadistic stuff, and got even like Carla even got more into it, maybe wanting to please him and show him, hey, look, I'm into this, and she started loving it. According to Fred, she cut the baby out of the lady, but you don't know who's lying with these two. They probably both did it and giggled.
Yeah. You know, she's not. See, the thing is, I think what happens is, you know, we tend to look at women as, you know, they're the nurturers. They couldn't possibly do this.
Yeah.
But there are women that are actually like that, and so it's shocking to us when a woman does something like this. You know. Anyway, so they start with their, you know, they're together. And, you know, she's at 15, he's obviously schooled her as far as all the, you know, sadomasochism, the thing, you know, she becomes really warped. And in fact, what I believe is she becomes worse than him. She becomes the driving force, not him, because he was a little slow. Because what happened is, when her daughter was killed, went missing actually, Fred was in prison.
Oh, so really?
It's not
yeah,
possible.
That's right, they said that in the thing. That's right. He's like, Fred, when she went missing, you were in prison. That's right. Yeah,
Fred was incarcerated this was Charmaine West. He was in prison, so there is no way in hell that he could have been part of that murder. So that was Rose. You know, and what they said is she had killed. I don't know why she killed her. And basically, when they questioned her about it, she said they asked where she was, because what happened is the girl disappeared, and the kids were taken into care. I think they had 4 or 5 kids. They'd all been abused. They'd all been, through it all. And what happened is, when they took the kids into care, the kids said, they asked where Charmaine was, and the kids said, she's buried. They told us, if we don't behave, we're going to be buried under the patio where Charmaine is. So that's why, see where they're digging here in this picture? That's why they went in the back, they dug up the whole yard, and they found several bodies, not just Charmaine. She was under the patio.
Oh, so they did find Charmaine and several others.
Yes.
I'm surprised that her children didn't tell some of their school buddies or anything, or they were just that maybe scared and terrified.
Yeah, it's mind blowing, but once they got into care, so that's why the police were alerted to this in the first place, because the kids were saying she's buried under the patio. Now, when they went to question Rose said, she's gone to live with her mother. I think Charmaine wasn't her child. I think it was Fred's from his first marriage. And she said she's gone to live with her mother, and bloody good riddance. This is what she said. But when they dug up the yard, then they found her, And right.
I don't know, but man, if that was me and I knew that they killed my little brother or sister, mother or parents, you would know by the world that it's wrong. Like, from society, you've been to school, they're a little older. You would think that they would, evidently they did tell people they was buried under. You think they'd go right to the police or something?
Yeah, no, they didn't. Anyway, after, they're together. So she gives birth to a second child. Then that's when she started working as a prostitute. And what they did, they had a room in the upstairs, and they would advertise in local magazines, and Fred encouraged her to seek clients in the West Indian community, black guys, West Indian people.
To rob them? Or
I'm not. No, she didn't. No, it's kind of weird.
They had money because, there are a lot of shopkeepers and stuff. Was that the reason?
No, maybe back then. In England, I mean, my dad was guilty of this too. I can only talk about my dad. I'm not going to talk about the West Indian community as a whole. But a lot of black men in England, my dad is one of them, saw a white woman as a prize. That means I made it. I'm accepted, that type of thing. And so a lot of black guys veered towards white women because it gave them a sense of, hey,
I'm English now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Maybe it was that. I'm not 100 with that, but that's what I'm thinking. And basically, Rose had sex with men and women.
Yeah, she didn't bestiality too with her.
No. Possibly, but I don't think so. That was more in Fred's background,
because they had a dungeon with all kinds of sadistic.
Well, what happened is, as she started getting all these guys, her level of what is it called, brutality, if you will. She'd do this. Some men like to be beaten and whatever. A lot of British politicians love that. You beat them with a whip and all the rest of it, but she would make it worse. If they were in fear or in pain, she would get more excited about that. You know what I mean? So there was something severely wrong with this woman, and as it came out, she was the driving force. I believe. She liked.
Yeah, well, at first it was probably him, but like you said. At 15, being introduced to all this deviancy and killings and stuff, she became worse than him and the leader.
Yeah,
the mind out of the couple.
what he used to do, see, she controlled all. This is why I say she's the driving force, because most men would not let the woman touch the money. You know what I mean? But she controlled the finances. Fred used to give her his pay packet, his wage.
You think that was because he was just a dimwit and a slip and falls? He didn't know what to do because he was a cuckold, as I think Faye said in the chat.
Yes. Yeah, he what he used to do, he'd put peepholes all over the house, and then he put like a baby monitor in the bedroom. He could hear and watch from wherever he was. And he would, which is like, oh God, I can't even imagine. But most of the money that they made was spent on home improvements, and their house actually wasn't bad, wasn't it? I mean, it doesn't.
It seemed like a big house, like even though they're all connected, like that's one whole house, right? That's not apartments in there, correct?
Yeah, that's one whole house. See, 3 stories.
So that's huge, actually.
House on the end. Yeah, it's a big house. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an apartment, but it's not.
It's one whole house. Yeah. And so,
see how it's set up? Is where were the bodies? They would go on the side of the house and bury them, or in the back?
No, see where this fence is on the side.
That's where it was.
Behind that is their back garden, and they had. Let me see if I have a picture of it. Well, they buried 3 in the cellar. That's the cellar. The back garden is this. You see?
Oh, all right. Yeah, it is a little. No, it's secluded. Look, the tree there. So yeah, they could get away with people think they're gardening and shit, and they're really burying people.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that back house. Like some of the same one at the cemeteries we use. Small. Is
it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So, this photo to me is particularly chilling because of what it did to this kid.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these people. I oh my God.
This is why I have faith. So I know there's Satan, and like this is pure evil. This is satanic stuff right here.
Yeah.
How can you have a little beautiful baby, hold it smiling, and then hurt the baby?
Right. And the fact that they would kill their own children and sexually assault their own children. What was shocking to me in An Appropriate Adult was when she first went in and he said, well, yeah, I grabbed her by the neck and next thing she was blue and I tried to put her in the dustbin and she wouldn't fit, so I cut her legs off. Yeah, I'm like, oh, wow. Oh my God. But he was talking like,
monotone, just all normal and monotone, like saying like how he's like feeding his dog. These people, that's why I know that there's pure evil out there, and these people are satanic.
Right. So basically, how they got arrested was because the kids were taken into care. I believe one of them had confided in somebody at school, and so that's where that's how
they would have never been caught. Possibly, if the children didn't say nothing, they wouldn't have been caught.
Right, and what happened is Heather West is the one that disappeared. So they're asking, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? So first they said she left home. Rose had given her money to leave, and she wanted to be with some boyfriend and blah, blah, blah. But, she was in fact dead. And they found her in the yard as well. So when they were arrested, Fred was arrested first. And this is like just chaps my ass. She was left out. Because, again, they're thinking women, it's not possible. They arrest him, and she's really the worst of the worst. But they finally arrested her, and so this is
she was combative. She was combative with them too.
Oh, she was a real cow.
Yeah.
Weren't she? I mean, oh my God. And what's funny is, she was in prison with Myra Hindley.
Really?
Yes. And they had there's another movie about their relationship. They were lesbians together.
Whoa, so they were in, I didn't know. That's very
Yeah.
interesting. So they were hanging out and even doing
Yeah.
lesbian stuff. Wow.
Yeah, and they bonded because they did the same thing with kids.
Oh, they must have talked about and told each other stories, and I topped
Yes.
it. Well, that's,
Can you imagine? Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
amazing
they
they would put these two popular serial killers together.
Yeah,
Wow.
who would do that? Again, I'm thinking, what the hell were they thinking? I don't know. But her and Myra Hindley bonded over the killing of children. And they had a relationship for a long time. They ended up falling out. I think Myra's dead now. But
Yeah, she is.
they has been talk of Rose being paroled. I don't think so.
How old is she now?
She's got to be in her 60s, late 60s.
Yeah, no, Maddie, Fred's dead, but Rose is still alive, and they want to parole her. They're crazy if they do. She don't be paroled.
They were. Here's the thing, Fred, coward that he is, when he was on remand, he hung himself.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to face anything. She faced it on her own, and what happened is, she was glad that he did that because she tried to kind of put everything on him. But her undoing was when they searched the house, at first they hadn't found this stuff, but they found a, what is it called?
The GIMP mask or photos?
Tapes.
Oh, VHS
audio.
tapes.
You know those old-fashioned tapes, tape recording things?
Okay, not video, just tape recorders.
Yeah, tape recordings. You know those old-fashioned ones where you put the thing in the cassette in the thing and record? Those. They found a whole host of those. And when they played them, it was horrific.
So they were recording these pictures?
Yeah, and
they're probably listening to it and sleeping together, sexual stuff, listening to that, these sickos. Wow.
Yeah, and when they played those recordings, the little girl was on there begging for her life.
Man.
They were torturing her. It was absolutely awful.
Faye said they found a woman's scalp, and those little, it's sort of like, and once again, go back to Paula Bernardo and Homolka, they recorded their things with the little sister. Like these. Wow.
Yeah. It was really.
So that was her undoing. They found. Wow, she didn't even have the brains to destroy that stuff. What a nut.
I know, my God. And see, they arrested Fred first. So once he's arrested, and you know what you did, you're going to get rid of anything that connects you with it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yes, you would think so. I don't know what this lady thought. She was going to keep it and then listen to it later. Oh, do you think she could have forgot it? There's no way you're forgetting. If you're a killer and you've killed these people and recorded them, there's no way. Look at Janet Reno. Oh, my God. There's no way. Yeah.
I'm going to have to look up who Janet Reno is. Yeah.
Oh, Google Janet Reno.
Yeah, this is her now. I mean, oh, my God.
Look at her smiling and giggling.
Yeah.
And she looks like some old, like, I don't know, some like old Baptist, like teacher or something. Look at this guy, Fred. I wouldn't hurt nobody. Look, he looks like a chia pet growing out of the top of his head. Doesn't it?
I know.
Oh, my God. And look at her. I'm a great mom. What a oh, my God. She's dressed up like Alice from the Brady Bunch.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God. But anyway, so let's talk a little bit about the appropriate adult. Now, I was telling you about that yesterday, that actually, before we do that, Rose got a life sentence. I don't think she got a full life tariff because the way it works in England is, you can get life and the judge recommends how long you serve. Like he can say, okay, I'm giving you a life sentence. Minimum time you serve can be 15 years. Then you will be, eligible for parole. Now, I don't like the way they do that. I really don't. I think it's bullshit.
But do you think they'll give it to her? I don't see them letting this lady out.
Well, see, the judge in the trial, he was Justice Mantell, and he sentenced her to life in prison. She was found guilty of everything, all the murders, everything. And he emphasized she should never, ever be paroled. But now they're talking about, okay, she's done
because she's older and stuff. Well, how can she hurt someone? She's in her 60s and all that stuff, probably, right?
Yeah, and she's still saying she's innocent.
Wow.
It's insane. It's insane.
Still saying she's innocent. Oh, what a nut. That's why, yeah, he looks like he just sold her a car, man.
Right. Now,
That's amazing.
The first victim was Anna McFall. She was 18 and she was pregnant, and they found her body with the fetus, the skeleton. It was absolutely terrible. Then it seemed like they had, looking at these murders, it seems like they had spates of it. Like July was when Anna was killed. And then they didn't kill anyone else till January of the following year. Then they waited till June for the next one, then August, then April of the next year. So it wasn't like a consistent thing.
It was going little spurts, whatever triggered them, or that they needed their fix or whatever. And wow. Yeah,
but the police believe there at least 20 more victims, at least. And so, she got life with no chance of parole.
They shouldn't let her out. Now, do you think they will come at her like this, saying, "Hey, Rose, if you tell us where these other bodies are, so these families could have closure, she could maybe bargain with that? Maybe, you think?" I hope
no, because she's still blaming it all on Fred. But Fred's dead.
Yeah, so, Fred's dead, so he did it.
Yeah.
Drop dead Fred. Chia.
Right. So I'm going to put this up. Appropriate adult.
It's on YouTube, guys. You can watch it free on YouTube.
It's really, really good. So I'll let you talk about that.
This is interesting, guys. All right, now what is it called again, Josie? The name she.
Janet Leach.
No, not that. No. What she's called? She's not the solicitor.
Oh, so what it is? When you're doing the social work program in England, you can sign up to be an appropriate adult, and that helps with your, when you do your exams and whatever. What do you call it here when you do that? Well, intern type.
Yeah, an intern. All right, so an appropriate adult, folks, is like a second-hand lawyer that's helped you, like a social worker. She got she started doing this with Fred and got close with him. He got close with her. They became friendly. She even got fired. They let her go, and then Fred's like, "I'm not going to talk to nobody in case you bring her back." And even when she stopped working on the case, she visited him for years and stuff. Like I said, was there any sexual stuff? I don't think so, but maybe she could have developed feelings for him, or maybe it's like she said that, it's like somebody gave her a purpose in life, and she's helping this guy and all this stuff. But it was amazing that you would think somebody who wants to be a lawyer doing all this stuff would get involved with a psycho like that. But it does show how conniving and cunning these serial killer sadistic creeps are, and how they could manipulate people and even manipulate an appropriate adult over here.
I mean, when I was there was no such thing as an appropriate adult. So I'm thinking, what the hell is this? And I do believe that, the problem is this Janet Leach basically could have got Fred off, on a technicality. And the reason is, under cross-examination, Queen's Counsel asked her, have you been paid by a newspaper or magazine for your story, because Fred West confided everything in this woman.
Yeah.
And when the police noticed that their relationship was getting a little close, they thought, they fired her. They said, we don't need you anymore. Well, this kind of sent her into a tailspin, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know? And she was seeing him in spite of the police and still talking to him and whatever. And in the end, I think he refused to say anymore unless, they brought her back, which they did. But he told her everything. And what she did was set up a deal with the Daily Mail to tell her story after the court was finished. And they paid her £100,000.
So that would have actually, if Fred didn't hang himself, that would have probably got him off. If he lived in America.
Yes.
In America.
Yeah, if he'd have waited, he would have got off. And the reason he would have got off on a technicality, because under cross-examination, they asked her, have you? And she said, no, I haven't. And then later on, she admitted, yes, I did. She admitted she lied. So that throws everything she had to say into question. You lie about one thing, then you lied about it all.
Yeah.
And he would have got off.
That's nuts. Yeah. What I felt bad for her husband in that movie. Like when he grabbed her and he's like, why you have kids and a family and your husband, and she's like, well, he gave, I felt needed. It was someone that needed me. And
that's why I felt there was more, it was becoming romantic. And the police,
it had to be, maybe not physical, like they've never physically did anything, but she had to. I don't know how you could fall for someone like that, but it happens in America where these women are in love with serial killers and write them letters. So it's possible that she, did fall for him in that way, or maybe just loved him as a human. I don't know how, but
I can't imagine. I don't know, but I just think, ultimately, she basically could have proved the whole freaking trial. You know what I mean? Literally, I was thinking, oh my God, is she serious?
What makes somebody who wanted a good career and all that, fall for this guy or care about him? So I get it's your job, I get that. But after you get fired, why would you still go up there and all that stuff?
She definitely.
Cleveland says Stockholm Syndrome. Do you think that's possible?
I mean, she definitely had developed some sort of feeling for him.
Do you think he played like I'm the little boy, I was this hurt little boy, and she felt like a mothery instinct almost to him, or a big sister, or maybe?
No, I think it was more than that. I was reading.
Imagine genuinely falling in love with Fred West. Oh my God!
No, but here's the thing, and it always astounds me. There are women in England that literally, in other countries, not just England, but I know England, they get online and they go to death row inmates, pen pal shit. Next thing you know, they're giving up the kids, the husband, the life. They're moving to America and marrying somebody. Why are you marrying someone on death row?
It happens a lot. Even Schmiegel's daughter was dating somebody from death row. Schmiegel.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird that. I don't know what's the obsession with. There's men that do it too with women killers, but it's more with the male serial killers, where they get all this like Richard Ramirez brutally raped old ladies, did horrible, inhumane things. And these women were at his trial, droves of them. He got married in there. Same with Bundy. He even had a kid. He conceived a child in there.
Right.
And do you think, and I think this, if Fred and her were left alone, something romantic would have happened for sure.
Totally. I totally believe that. That's what.
What do you think it could have happened? I don't know. We'd have to research the prison and if they were left alone or anything like that. Maybe it could have happened. Who knows?
Yeah, totally. But I totally recommend this movie. If
It was good, folks.
It's very interesting, and it goes into exactly, you know, what happened here. So I'm going to play a little bit more of this video, and let's see what. Hold on.
Wife Rose and their children.
These were people who were well regarded. I mean, they weren't highly regarded, but at least well regarded by most of those around them. A bit eccentric, a bit odd, but do anything for you.
Summer 1969. Rose was waiting for a bus when Fred first saw her. She was almost 16, and Fred was 28. Fred tracked Rose down to the cafe where she waitressed. Thick-set and strong, the son of a farm labourer, Fred got his way with the women he pursued. Soon, Rose was Fred's lover, and pregnant with their first daughter, Heather. Over 20 years later, and Heather had been missing for 7 years. Allegations of sexual abuse within the West family alerted Gloucestershire police to Heather's disappearance. After an initial search failed to locate her, Detective Superintendent John Bennett was brought in to investigate.
What that basically meant was that either she had gone abroad illegally because she wouldn't have had a passport, or was dead.
The police search quickly centred on the West's house in Cromwell Street.
It was some form of a family joke that Heather was under the patio at Cromwell Street. This being mentioned mostly by Fred and Rose West to their children when they'd done something wrong, hadn't eaten their food or refused to go to bed or been naughty in some way.
On the 24th of February, the police moved in to search Fred West's garden.
He was saying that there was no truth in this and that he was going to sue the police for the damage they were causing to his home.
Slab by slab, the police removed Fred's patio. They found nothing at first. Then, digging deeper, something caught their eye. It was a bone, but was it human? They called in forensic pathologist Professor Bernard Knight to find out.
And it was obvious that, 2 seconds it was a human thigh bone, and female and young. Fred had broken a sewer pipe at some stage in his digging. So I was digging through a mixture of Gloucester clay and, of course, the sewage. So it was a sort of black, sticky mess. But then when I went into this hole, or at least I think there's a police officer down there, and he handed up some bits. And I looked at these. I remember looking, I think, Inspector Bennett, and saying, well, either she's got 3 legs or you've got more than one.
The police had found the remains of 2 bodies. They suspected one was Heather, but who else was under the patio? The police confronted Fred. Fred made a staggering confession. Not only Heather, but 2 other women were buried in the garden. One had a name. He said she was Shirley Robinson, his secret lover, and pregnant with his child.
The thing I want to stress, is Rose doesn't know anything at all. She hasn't done anything.
The other, he claimed, was Shirley's mate. The police needed more information, but Fred kept changing his story.
One minute he was making admissions, the next minute he was denying that he had done any of these murders and it was somebody else.
She's not going to let me say to her, I strangled Heather, without coming straight to the police. Don't get Rose wrong. Rose lived by the law. Properly, I mean.
But all the time, whenever he returned to making his admissions, he would reinforce that his wife knew nothing of these crimes at all, that they were purely down to him.
Was it possible that Rose knew nothing about the murders? 3 young women killed and buried under her nose, including her daughter Heather. Cromwell Street was turning out to be no ordinary family home, but a house of unimaginable horrors.
Wow, so that was the woman he killed that had the baby. That was his own child. He let, according to him, Rose cut the baby out. That was his own child. Oh my God! Yeah, this is twisted. And did they knock that house down because they're connected to others' houses?
No.
You can stop playing it because it shut the stream down.
Okay, yeah. So,
well, hold on. We're not live right now. It takes like 5 minutes for it to come back. They can't see us. It says stream unavailable. Just stay on for a few minutes. It will pop back up.
Okay.
Because we played the BBC doesn't let you.
No,
play.
This isn't the BBC. This documentary.
Well, whatever it is, it's not. It shut the stream down.
Oh, it did.
Yes. I wouldn't, but it will come back. Just keep talking, and it will pop back on.
Okay.
And I would just edit. I would just edit most of that out. Like
yeah. We're just looking at it now. Yeah, I won't play it anymore. But okay. So
look, I'll wait till we come back on. Hold on. Let's see, because they can't. Let's see if they can see us. No, it says it takes a few minutes because when they ban the stream, it takes a few minutes to come back. So we should come back on it. It says stream unavailable. Yeah, if you play a little with a lot of these channels, you play too much of it. I think you're only allowed 30 seconds of it. So when you do edit the video, edit them clips to 30 seconds, and they won't take this video down or nothing.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll do that.
Wow, what sick bastards! Imagine doing that to your own.
I know. Oh my God.
What sick bastards!
Okay, are we back yet?
Hold on, I'm asking. Can you hear us? Because usually it comes back in the old days. If I would play something out, they would stop it, and then they would, as long as you didn't play it no more, it would come back. But give it a few minutes.
Okay.
Or I don't think it's gonna. I hope it comes back up. Stream.
Oh my God.
No, they're saying no, not yet.
Okay.
I want to stream. Yeah, we're back now. Okay, we're back now. Yeah, what happened, people, is
sorry.
A lot of these channels, especially the British channels, no offense, Redcoats, don't let you play their stuff. You can only play 30 seconds of it. So Josie would have to go back and just the last one we played, just edit 30 seconds. Just keep 30 seconds of it up.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. But what's sick? Like that woman was. He had his own child was in that woman.
Right.
What's up, Joe? Truly sadistic bastards. And did they knock the house down?
No, I don't. I believe it's still there. I mean, someone from England would know. I don't know. Usually they knock them down.
But so it'd be hard to knock that one down because these are like a row houses that are connected to each other.
Right, yeah.
But I guess they still could do it. What's up, Moblin? I'm sure they still could do it. And I wonder if it is up. And if it is Halloween, that must be a huge attraction to people in that neighborhood.
Right.
If it is still up. I bet your money they took it down. Anyone in the chat know if it's been taken down?
Yeah,
oh, no, Tommy M says they demolished the house. Okay.
Oh, they did? Okay. Yeah, they usually demolish. But
yeah, because if not, everybody will come to that house from Halloween to all kinds of stuff.
Right.
That was amazing, though. They went under there, and the guy said, "I found 3 legs, 3 bones. In case she had 3 legs, we got more bodies."
Yeah. Oh my God.
What a bunch of sick creeps. So Rose right now is still thinking she's going to get out with parole, denying everything.
Yeah, she's in prison still.
I wonder when her next parole hearing is.
I don't know, but everybody's up in arms. The same way they were about Myra Hindley. They let her out, I do believe.
Did they let Myra out when she got sick?
Well, not let her out. I mean, they
took her outside.
Yeah, she was going to stores and,
field trips.
People were, pissed off. They weren't well regarded. I bet that guy's a copper. It was a massive failure on behalf of the police. Yeah, I mean, really, yeah.
Well, yeah, you would think after those children were like, it was a running joke that she's buried under the patio. So
Yeah.
when you hear stuff like that, like, man, thank God the kids did speak up on it.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, I'm gonna check up on it. Like, where are the kids? I wonder if what they do, or like if they're normal, or if they went crazy, or like I said, they must have changed their names.
Yeah.
Picture the bullying and the torturing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. And see, in England, nobody cares. They will beat you up. They will drag you out your house. I swear to God, what happens here in this genre would not MobTube, but YouTube in England is very different to YouTube in America. They firebomb people's houses. If you're up there talking crap, they're going to come and firebomb your house. They're going to drag you out the house. They're going to beat you within an inch of your life. They really are. And the reason is because, America's a big place. So, you've got to go state to state and all of that. But
England, there's not so many places
to get to Liverpool, it's like a couple of hour train ride or a 3-hour drive. And people will make that drive, especially if you're talking about dead relatives and, the stuff that happens on here.
Yeah.
No, it's very different in England. And Mark will tell you that,
Yeah, I bet, because look, America, we're a freaking continent over here. We're, North America, but America is huge. You know what I mean? England is like the size of what? Like Idaho or something?
Right. Right, exactly.
So all these people can get to each other fairly easier than in America. Like somebody arguing from California with a guy from Maine is not going to drive all the way to California. They're not going to go all the way to Maine across the country. Where in England, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so we can wrap it up. I'm going to stay on for a minute. I have a couple of things to address.
All right, thanks for that. We're going to cover some more of these serial killers and some history stuff in the future, for sure.
Yeah, and also I want you to take a look at what I was telling you about yesterday. I'm going to send you some links so you can watch. And there's this guy, you're going to die. His name is Enzo. And he's Italian, but you got to listen to this guy. It is so funny. And, I'd really like to do something on that.
Send me the links on the stuff, and I'll check it out.
You're going to die.
And we'll do a stream on it.
Yeah, totally.
I want to thank you for having me on, and God bless everyone in the chat. And I hope Rose never gets out. Rosemary, I hope she never gets out. God. And they will burn in hell. Well, Fred's burning in hell right now. But yeah, thanks for having me on. God bless.
That's okay. So what I need to do when this finishes, I need to just cut out that bit, yeah?
Well, yeah, I would I think you played maybe a few minutes of it. I would just play the 30 seconds, leave the 30 seconds of it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you. Okay. Take care. All right. Bye-bye. All right. So let's get down to business. Now, hold on 1 second. All right. Hold on 1 minute. Now, here's where I'm going to start. So I guess people thought that I was fighting with Stone Sailor. No, that's not what happened there. What actually happened was people were messaging me, you're fighting with him, whatever. No, I wasn't fighting with him. Now, I'm well aware that him and Code have been trashing me for I don't know how long. I'm aware of it. I never watched them. I don't watch it. Why are you going to sit up and watch, people trashing you. I just don't watch it. So, you know, I was told this and I ignored it simply because in the beginning, I thought, let me start with Code. I thought he was a decent, good guy. I really did. I used to talk to him on the phone. He was taking care of his son, his father. He had a lot on his plate, I thought. And he was very, you know, religious and whatever. I'm not religious. I am Roman Catholic, but, you know, I'm not religious. Hold on, let me grab some more. Okay, so, you know, I thought he was a good guy. Stone Sailor, I didn't really know about him. I'd seen bits and pieces, but, you know, it's not something that I watched. In any event, I guess, you know, since he went with Harambe Code, you know, he started trashing me. Now, I never responded really to him. Here and there, I did go back at him a little, you know, but not really because, you know, I just don't see the point, you know. Now, Stone Sailor went after me, you know, mimicking me and calling me names, whatever it was they were doing. Now, I put that aside. And the reason I put that aside is because name calling and whatever is one thing. You know, I'm a big girl. I've called names up here, totally, you know, and so all's fair in love and war. That's the way I looked at it. Now, when you're taking social security numbers, trying to defraud, you know, getting your bank account, that type of stuff, that's on a whole nother level. And I haven't seen them do that. If they have, somebody tell me, correct me. But, you know, I don't know if they did that or not. Anyway, so I didn't really respond to them. Now, yesterday, Stone Sailor left me a comment that he would be willing to come on and discuss my issues with him. And at first I thought, sure, of course, you know, I don't mind him coming on. I'm happy to discuss my issues with him. But after thought, there's no need. I don't really have issues with him. You know, yeah, he said what he said about me, whatever. Okay. My only issue at that time was what he said about Brittany. That was uncalled for. It was disgusting. And what you know, my opinion is he owes her an apology of some sort. Now, whether he wants to give her one or not, whether he, you know, isn't about whether you like her, hate her, or whatever. She's a woman. She's a mother. You don't threaten her with Marines to come and rape her and gang rape her. You know, that's what I was offended by. And I would say that about, if he said that about any woman. So I don't really have an issue. I don't need to have a show with him about that. That's my only thing. Now, that's it, really, as far as he's concerned. And I understand he went on Harambe's channel and was saying, yeah, I can corner her, whatever. No, you can't. You know, I'm still a little bit conflicted as to whether to do it or not do it. But I think, no, if that's how you think, that's how you are, you're in that camp. I have ongoing legal proceedings with Harambe. So, no, I'm leaving that alone for now. You will all know what's going on here very, very soon. Okay, I promise you that. In any event, let's get to Jules the Bee. personally, I think she should change the avatar to a moth. You know, one of those big, black, nasty looking, dusty looking moths. Because in reality, that is what she looks like. You know, oh my God, talk about filter. Whew, I never use a filter, not never. But anyway, you know, that's beside the point. So I guess she had some shit to say, mimicking me. You all suck at that. You all suck at mimicking an English accent. You really do. But in any event, here's my take on her. I'm more looking at her in a psychological point of view, you know, and you know, in the sex trafficking world, you know, the top of the hierarchy is the sex trafficker, which is her sex trafficking crack addict boyfriend that's in prison, right? So next is the bottom bitch, right? And then you've got the underlings, you know, the prostitutes. Now, the bottom bitch is typically one who has been with the trafficker for the longest. You know, she does a lot of things. She oversees the girls, punishes them if they step out of line, you know. She takes them to their dates, in quotations, and makes hotel reservations, stuff like that. She trains the girls, you know. She might be the one to, you know, bail the girls out if they've been arrested, you know, stuff like that. She's like a trusted lieutenant, if you will. So I looked at her, and it's you know, it's easy to see her as a monster, horrible monster. What she did was horrible. Yeah, totally. You know, she looks like she's been rode hard and hung up wet, actually. Hold on 1 second. And hang on 1 minute. I'm just gonna let the dog in. Okay, you know, you can clearly see she's been on drugs. She looks rough for her age, very rough. But, you know, and it's easy to see her as a monster. I look at it kind of differently, you know. Maybe she did what she did out of fear. You know, she's in love with the sex trafficker, obviously, you know, and she went through already what she's putting these girls through. And that's the monster part about it. You went through that. Why would you let other people, other girls, other young girls go through that and ruin their entire life, especially these young ones? I mean, my God, you know, a lot of the tools, how they control these girls, you know, they beat, they starve them, they keep them awake, they break their spirit, you know, and they believe themselves to be worthless. And I honestly believe she feels worthless. I do. So I have some form of compassion in one way, but you know, you have to look at her background. You have to look at her background. You know, I can only guess what she went through as a child. I can only guess. And that's why she is the way she is now. She spends her time on YouTube hurting people, trying to hurt people. She's been doing this for years. She's in her 50s. Go outside, get some sun, you know, do something else, you know. And so now that her boyfriend is in prison, you know, who she really wants to be with, by the way, from what I understand, She's now Harambe's bottom bitch. Do you see what she's doing? She went from actually being a bottom bitch, you know, in real life, to a YouTube bottom bitch. You know, and Tina, Conchetta, you need to open your eyeballs. Keep an eye on that. Because the bottom bitch wants your man. Trust and believe. Keep a good eye on that. As you see, she's already taken over his channel. She's in there thinking like, you know, she's the bottom bitch. She's trying to keep the hoes in check when she's the biggest hoe of them all. Watch out for that. And I haven't done with you, Tina, actually. And so I just want to play you all something real quick. And I want to respond to it. I'm going to play it for you. Hold on 1 second. And take a listen to this. And, oh, hold on 1 minute. So, okay, hold on. I want you to take a listen to this, okay?
Thing that I want to mention here, people, is I believe there's something very important. Stone Sailor, did you know that that lady who calls herself Josie, but her real name is Jasamba or Jasamba, whatever her alien name. And when people talk about from another country, from another dimension and or planet.
First of all, it's pronounced Jansaba. Jansaba. Jansaba Josephine Lee. Don't wear it out. Okay? The only reason I'm called Josie is because my mother wanted to call me Josephine and my dad wanted to call me Jansaba. He won. However, he didn't win because nobody called me Jansaba. So I was called Josephine my entire life, and Josie or Joe or whatever. Okay, dickhead? What about your names? How many aliases do you have, dickhead? Anyway, let's continue.
All right, now this particular female, she did you know what she had done to? She tried to do to Tina, right? Did you know? No, I did not know that. I did not know that. Oh, okay, so that's what she did. She got to. I'm smoking a joint. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We're very inclusive here. We're very inclusive. I did not know what she did to Tina. No, I did not know.
Okay, that is a straight up lie. I did nothing to Tina, as far as he's trying to say, or he does say, I'm going to play it on. He does say that I called her work. I tried to get her fired. That is a total lie. I never, on everything I love, my dogs, my kids, everything, I never called that woman's work one time. And the reason that I didn't even need to call her work is because when I'm done with him, she's next, along with that law firm and Don Berlin. Okay? Now, continue.
Yeah, and I do want to do a little bit of elaboration here. Go ahead, please. Like I told you earlier, that lady who her name is Jasamba, whatever the fuck it is. She got together with Johnny Mac and Tony Pizza and started to. They tried very, very hard to affect Tina at her job.
Another lie. I've never been in cahoots with Johnny Mac and Tony Pizza. Okay? Not at all. Whether they called her work or not, I don't know, don't care. It had zero to do with me. Another lie.
Accuse her of her little information of people here and stuff like that. When in reality, that's not the case. I mean, yeah. So they actually got together to do that. She actually filed to the bar, to her job. I didn't know that. All the place and all that kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, I thought it was just Johnny
another lie. It wasn't all this crazy stuff. Yes, I did approach the bar, and that's ongoing, by the way. That's ongoing. When I'm done with you, Harambe, then I'm going to concentrate on that. Okay? For real. Conchetta Tina will be brought to justice for what she did, along with that law firm, along with Don Berlin. And if you think I'm playing with you, think what you want. Okay?
Yeah, I didn't know she was a co-conspirator in that. A hardcore co-conspirator, not the number one co-conspirator in that. No, that's the type of individual this lady is. And I had a conversation with her. I put up the conversation up there. I'll be more than happy to put up the conversation again.
Please put up the conversation again, because I don't record people. I don't do what you do. Put it up again, please. You know, I got most of it. So, you know, that conversation is nothing. Nothing. Hold on one sec. This.
Allow me to record her. I told her I'm recording you. She came up with the conversation, because that's how the law works. I tell you that I'm recording, and you keep on talking to me, you're done. I could put that recording anywhere. You see what I'm saying? So I gotta either say yes or no up front. You get a certain amount of time, and after that, you keep rambling on. Yeah, it's implied consent. Yeah. So I got you good here, December. But anyway.
You actually didn't get me good at all. I knew you were recording me. You told me you were recording me. I said I don't care. At the end of the day, anything I say, I'm happy to say on live, whatever. I've nothing to hide. So I didn't have a problem with you recording me. I have no problem with you playing that recording. Okay? So play away, sweetie. You didn't get me with that. All that did for me was show the judge that I attempted to talk to you. I sent you a cease and desist, and I attempted to talk to you. That's all that recording does. Okay? So play away, moron.
I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Just Samba or Bamba. What I'm saying is, this lady, I consider her an insignificant individual. She created a book that has sold maybe like 10 copies. I know where you can find it for free, by the way, people in the dark web.
The dark web. You wouldn't know the dark web if it smacked you in your face, you fucking moron. Okay? You wouldn't know the dark web. It's all bullshit. 10 copies, is that what you think? Okay. All right. Wait for Chronicles 2, idiot.
Go and get her book for free. Believe it or not, I did not condone that. I did not condemn that behavior. By that is to do. I'm just being an investigative journalistic type of guy, and then you people out there free in the internet. But anyway, the thing about it is that this lady has still not apologized for her doing that. You see what I'm saying? We have also pretty clearly demonstrated here, and I could demonstrate beyond any type of peradventure of a doubt and any type of civil and or criminal court that the information was not provided. The information that I have here that was never provided by Tina. It was either provided by me or the way that Mr. FBI has been gathering information. And I don't want to get into that because I really don't want to completely and absolutely annihilate a particular individual that I believe was also created by Mr. FBI. You understand what I'm saying? I got you fully. Josie, I consider you an individual that until you apologize to Tina, not to me, you can call me Harambe and the Ripper, whatever that was, how many times you want, but until you apologize to Tina and to, of course, her boss, if that's what she wants you to do, you will forever be an individual that I will be exposing here for the scumbag that you are. Simple as that. You know what I mean? And that's not going to allow ever. And let me tell you something, Josie. Remember this. Remember that every time I talk about you, I'm actually giving you some clout. Because my show's definitely bigger than yours exponentially.
You're giving me some clout? Oh my God. Really? I don't need your clout. Okay? Number one. Number two, Tina will get an apology from me when hell freezes over. Okay? I know what she did, and I'm going to prove it. And I'll be dealing with that next. I guarantee you that. Okay? You're a liar. You're a scumbag. You're a rapist. You're a woman abuser. You're a sex fiend, actually. A total sex fiend. So there you go. Let's hear the end of it, and then I'm getting off.
And you've been here like 50 million years. I surpassed you. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, Stone, I believe that she wanted to debate you. Am I correct?
Well, yeah. Well, last night when I was watching Angel's chat, she was saying some things about me. She was upset with the comment I made about Brittany, and I gave Angel my word as her wrench. I wouldn't allow any other outside beefs or grudges in her chat while I was the wrench, and I'm a man of my word. When I step up and say I'll do something, or you give me a leadership position, I carry it out to the best of my ability. So I said to her, I contacted her and said, look, if you want me to come on your show and discuss this, I will. Now, I did not know she was involved in the whole thing with Tina, and the discussion was only going to be narrowed to what I said and the context behind what I said about Brittany.
Exactly, Stone Sailor. Exactly. We would have kept to that. What he's saying about Tina and me calling her job and trying to get her fired is a lie. I never called her job one time. I swear on everything I love, I never called her job. Now, what Mac and Pizza do is their business. I'm not in cahoots with them at all. That is another lie, and he's lying to you. And it's really that simple.
Because she misquoted last night in Angel's chat. Yeah, I never used the R word, okay? So I wanted to correct the record on that and give her the context.
Yeah, and I believe, and you want to know something, Stone, so I'm going to tell you something right now. I believe that Brittany has to do with that female community. Brittany has nothing to really do here with this community. No. You know what I mean? If there's anybody that maybe that you need to talk to about that, might be Her Highness right here next to you, there, right here with us. Her name is Queen Josie.
Absolutely. I addressed that part of hers because I did commentate on Josie yesterday. You got my attention, dear. Anyway, and I said, I mean, it's no mystery. I didn't rock with.
I am not listening to the moth. Okay, I'll end that there. I'm not listening to the moth. She's irrelevant. She's trying to be his bottom bitch. And Tina, you need to keep your eye on her ass. Okay? You really do. Stone Sailor, I went back and forth as to whether I should have you on or not. I don't want to upset people on this side. I don't. And I was advised basically not to. I can address it here on this platform, my own channel. I can say what I need to say. And what I'm telling you is this. Number one, he's totally lying to you. I never, ever called that woman's job. Never. Okay? I wouldn't do that to someone. I really wouldn't. That's a lie. I'm not in cahoots with Johnny Mac or Tony Pizza. It's a lie. I was upset at what you said about Brittany. If you'd have said it about any woman on here, it was a disgusting thing to say. And whether you like Brittany or don't like Brittany, I felt you owed her an apology. It's really that simple. And that was it. I don't have any other issues with you. Yes, you've mimicked me, talked shit about me for months now, apparently, you and Code. And, hey, all's fair in love and war. I'm not, I got thick skin. I'm not going to cry over being called a couple of names or being mimicked. I'm not even addressing the bottom bitch because, no, she's not good enough to even, she's beneath me. So that's it. I'm done with her and that. She has clear psychological problems. She said on there that she had to go to a therapist. Well, here's some advice, sweetie. Okay, you might need to change your therapist because it clearly isn't working. You know, whatever was going on is not working out. And I just think you need more intense therapy. Maybe you need to go a little more than you've been going. That's what I think. Okay, so I'm not addressing you again. You're a drugged out, drugged freaking whore who trafficked young girls along with your love interest that's in prison. You know, the way you talked about him. Oh, and by the way, Moth, okay, by the way, just so you know, I had somebody reach out to him because after you did that, I didn't watch your stupid show and what you had to say. I really didn't. But I had someone reach out to him, and what he had to say was really interesting. So I'll save that for another time. I've been on here way too long already. I'll save that for another time. So keep talking, bottom bitch. Okay. You know, you ratted that man out. You were right alongside him, and to save your own dirty, disgusting skin, which is hanging, by the way, because you lost weight, put it back, lost weight, put it back. You know, you need to get that sorted out. I would be more worried about sorting that crap out than I would be trying to be a bottom bitch to Harambe. Okay? And as for you, Harambe, see you in court. Okay? Tina, you're next. You, Don Berlin, all of that crap. I'm going to take care of it. You trust and believe. Okay? There are people on here that are privy and know, and they've seen the paperwork, they've seen what I'm doing, and they know. Okay? So just because I'm not up here 24/7, don't think I've forgotten about any of you. Okay? Now, I'm not, here's the thing. It's not about name calling. It's not about any of that. That's why Stone Sailor, I don't have an issue with you as far as you calling me names or whatever, you or code, because, you know, all's fair in love and war, like I keep saying. However, when you take people's social security number, when you go in their bank accounts, when you're trying to affect their finances fraudulently, you got the information fraudulently, which I can prove, there are consequences for that. And you're going to see the consequences coming for you really, really soon. Really soon. So, Moth, go do one, be gone. You know, don't address me. Don't even, you know, if I can't, I'm never coming in there, but if I ever do, don't address me, you idiot. You're an idiot. You need to go outside, get some sun, you know, do something else. You know, you're an old woman on here. You've done this for years, harassing people, trying to hurt people. You know, what is your freaking issue? And the only reason, let me tell you something. The only reason I'd kind of left you alone is because you were mutual friends with someone I was friends with. So I left you alone. You were still talking shit about me, but I kind of like left it alone because you were, you know, we had mutual friends. Let me put it that way. But now you've pole vaulted over the line, and you know, I'm done with that shit. I'm done with it. You know, I don't have to address you again. You clearly have psychological problems. I understand why. But my next video, let's see what your sex trafficking degenerate boyfriend has to say, shall we? Yeah. Okay, honeys. Anyway, listen, thank you all for being on here. I've got to edit this video, obviously, because of, you know, I played that thing too long. And everybody have a great 4th of July. And thank you, MRE. I enjoyed that. Let's do it. Let's do it again real soon. And that's it from me. Okay, take care, everyone. Okay.